Hi everyone, I'm Simon. Welcome to my channel Refactor Mind. I recently read a paper about AI and game theory. The title is What Suppresses Nash Equilibrium Play in Large Language Models. It sounds very technical, but the finding is actually easy to understand. Researchers put large language models into classic game theory situations. In many of these games, the mathematically safe move is not cooperation. The safe move is to protect yourself first. But the AI often did something else. It chose to cooperate. At first this sounds like a bug. Maybe the AI did not understand the game. Maybe it was not strategic enough. Maybe it was just trained to be nice. But the paper suggests something more interesting. The model may actually see the self-protective move first, and then move away from it later. It does not always fail to find the rational answer. Sometimes it seems to suppress it. That made me pause, because this is not only a question about AI, it is also a question about how we live with each other. Before we talk about that, we need to understand one idea, Nash equilibrium. A Nash equilibrium is a stable point in a game. It means everyone has chosen their move, and no one can get a better result by changing their own move alone. Here's a simple example. Imagine two people selling tomatoes at a small market. They both sell tomatoes for $3 a pound. One seller thinks, maybe I should raise my price to $4. I could make more money. But then he looks at the seller next to him. If the other person keeps the price at $3, customers may just walk away from him and buy the cheaper tomatoes. The other seller is thinking the same thing, so both of them stay at $3. Maybe both of them would like to charge more. Maybe both of them feel stuck, but neither wants to move first because moving alone is risky. That is Nash equilibrium. It is not always the happiest result. It is not always the best result for everyone. It is just stable because everyone is protecting themselves. And once you understand this, you start seeing it everywhere, not only in markets, also in relationships. Sometimes two people both want to talk, but neither wants to text first. Sometimes two friends both feel hurt, but neither wants to apologize first. Sometimes a couple both want things to get better, but both are waiting for the other person to soften first. From the outside, it can look like nobody cares, but maybe both people care. They are just afraid to be the one who moves first. This is why the AI paper stayed with me, because when the model chooses cooperation, maybe it is not simply being irrational. Maybe it is showing us that the safe move is not always the complete calculation. A short-term calculation says, protect yourself. But a longer-term calculation has to include something else, trust. If there is no trust, then every interaction becomes very small. Everyone is just trying not to lose. Nobody wants to give too much, say too much, or care too much. And yes, that can protect you for a while, but it can also slowly make life feel colder than it has to be. This is personal for me. When I was very young, maybe in first or second grade, my parents argued a lot. One time, after they had already been fighting, my father told me something about his work or his life. I remember he sounded proud. I was too young to understand the tension between them. I just thought it was something I could share with my mother. So I told her, but that small sentence became part of another argument. My mother thought he was showing off or exaggerating. I do not remember every detail, but I remember what I learned from that moment. I learned that even saying something simple could create trouble. So I became careful. I talked less. I tried not to get involved. I tried to protect myself first. Of course, I did not know anything about Nash equilibrium back then. I was just a child. But looking back, I think I was choosing the safest move available to me. And honestly, for a child, that makes sense. When the room feels tense, silence can feel like intelligence. But as I got older, I started to see the cost of that strategy. If you only think about the next moment, self-protection often looks rational. Life is a long chain of moments, and if the strategy never changes, you may keep protecting yourself even when there is no real danger anymore. That is why I like this idea that cooperation can be rational, but because trust is also part of reality, a calculation that ignores trust is not always more rational. Sometimes it is just shorter. Maybe cooperation looks naive in a one-round game. That is why the AI paper touches me a lot. Cooperation is what intelligence looks like when it finally thinks long enough. And maybe the question is not always, what move protects me right now? Maybe sometimes the better question is, what move gives tomorrow a chance? Of course, you may ask, if one of the AI choose to betray first, what will happen? That is another interesting part of this essay. I will talk about it in next video. Thank you for staying with me until the end. Your support is the greatest motivation for my creation.